Okay, so in the last session, we completed about the netting, right? So netting is nothing but network address translation, where we are already covered some concept, right? The static net for inside and the outside we covered, correct? Correct,
Sure.
na? So this is our topology, okay? And this is our previous configuration. Here, this side I have configured RIP, and all the network has been advertised over the RIP. Okay, this will be our lane side. This is also a part of our lane side only. This both, but this is I'm using. Just consider this is your server, okay, and this is your web server which is hosting by in port number 80 HTTP, okay. So outside user, how they can access the inside, your network, which is a part of your local area network, okay, but they cannot reach to inside, okay, for the security purpose. That we will cover today, and along with, okay, leave it, guys. Better to configure from the very basics, so it will be recall for you. It will not take more than 10 minutes. Let me delete this policy, which is an existing policy, and now interface has been already configured. Address there is nothing. Okay, networks are already configured. So let me quickly recall. So today we are going to do a static net for inside to outside. Okay, the inside user can access the internet. A static net for outside user to access the inside. The outside user can also do can also access to inside network. Okay, by using a net that we will cover. And after that, we need allow multiple private users by using a single public IP. Right. In the previous session, we already discussed about theoretical. We already covered theoretical part of this. Okay, got it. So
Yes, sir.
I'm just going to recall once again, and we'll do a configuration from the very sketch. It means to say I have already configured these routers, okay, and the PCs. Firewalls IP address only I have assigned, okay. RIP also I have assigned into the firewall. RIP has been also configured, okay. Directly network is configured. Static default routing has been also enabled into this. Now, our requirement is that your manager is telling, like, you know, just a minute. Like, your requirement is this 192.168.1.1 can access the internet. Okay. 192.168.1.1 can access the internet by using a public IP. Let's suppose 101.1.1.2 we can say, okay, bidirectional, okay, bidirectional means bidirectional means single way, okay. Unidirectional means both the way. The R1 can also access internet, and outside can also access the inside. So that is called unidirectional. So our requirement is bidirectional means one way, okay. How are we going to configure for that? Sorry, 192.168.1.1 is need to cover with the 101.1.1.2, right? So the requirement we understood, okay. Now, if you check, the R1 is able to access the internet or not. Let me verify. Ping 192, 192.1, sorry, that is a 1.1.1.1, 1.1.1.1. So R1 is able to reach or not? Because there is no policy, right? If I create a policy, the router can access the internet, right? Like uh, ISP, I can say. Okay, I'm just giving just simple view. Port one, the packet will come from the port one. The packet will go via port number three. The source is all, and destination is all. Schedule always, services all. I accept and okay. So by using this, we will access the internet. Okay. So when you check the internet, okay, enable diagnose diag diagnose why it is not di debug IP ICMP. Okay. So when you hit this, the request is coming to internet. Okay. This R3 is our internet. So packet is coming from 101.1.100. So 100 is a part of our interface, right? This is the sign has been into the, this is our interface, which is directly connected to the internet. So now everyone can access. The 172 can also access. This 192.168.101 user can also access. I'll show you. From R1, ping 1.1.1.1, source will be a loopback one. Okay. So loopback one is also able to reach the internet. Loopback two is also able to reach the internet. Loopback three is also able. Everyone is able to access the internet. But the requirement is coming like only 192.168.1 dot can access the internet. Okay. With the 101.1.1.2. For that, we need to go to the virtual routers. Okay. Delete this. And this is our previous configuration. Okay. So I'm just going to static net into out 192. Just a minute. Here not required. Here it is not required. From the firewall policy itself we can do. Okay. Or we can create an address under the address. Let me do this. Static net. Just a minute. Huh? This
Sorry,
is,
sir. I have one query, sir.
tell me.
What is the use of the virtual IPs?
This IPs. Just consider they are a user with a different network. Okay. We
Okay.
cannot run multiple machine, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that is the reason we, for the testing purpose, we are using. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So let me delete this ISP enable. Okay, this is our previous policy where I allowed all these things. So I'm doing the static net into out. Packet will come from the port number one. Packet will go via port number three. Source will be our, which source, 192.168.1.1, right? This will go right. Slash 32 means particular single host. When you're using slash 32 means this is the last hop address. Okay. Click. So the source will be this one. Destination will be anywhere they can go. Services all. Action is accepted. Netting is enabled. But I'm by using this interface we already configured, right? Where it was showing like 101.1.100. Now I'm using to access some particular IP pool. Okay, I'm creating this and static in out. Okay, so here it will become like one to one. We are just mapping one private IP one into like one IP 10101 dot 1.1 dot. What is our requirement? 1.1.2, right? This is our first IP and this is our last IP. You want to say, okay? One to one. Enable static in out. I use it. Okay. So now this time, if 192.168.1.1, okay, the configuration is done. So let me check whether it is able to access now. No, they are not able to access the internet. The other interface, other users are means 172 range are not able to access the internet. Now we will do a ping from source 192.168.1.1. Okay, so now let me see. Now we are able to access the internet by which IP? 101.1.1.2, which we used, right?
Yes.
Correct. So this is the way how you're going to do a static routing. Now R3 cannot ping to R1. Okay, ping 192.168.1.1 because we don't have reverse traffic. This is a bidirectional. For that, we need to configure one more virtual IP. Okay, by using static net, static net out to in. Okay, so this time user will hit 101.1.1.2 only. Okay, By hitting this 192.168.1.1, they will reach to the 192.168.1.1. Okay. For that, I need to create a policy, create new, okay, static net out to in. Okay. Incoming interface will be port number 3. This time traffic will come from outside and it will go to the one our local area network. And the service source will be all. We cannot define destination, we can define here. Okay. So static out to in, right? So whenever the user will hit 101.1.1.2, it will reach to redirect to 192.168.1.1. Okay. Services all the services. Exen except flow based netting is not required for the outside users. Okay. So now let me check whether this is able to ping or not. What we are trying to access 192.168.1.1, but we need to hit 101.1.1.2, right? We cannot directly access the private network, correct? Ping
Yes, correct.
101.1.1.2. So this time we are able to access the what 192.168.1.1. I'll show you debug IP ICMP. Okay, so R3 1.1 R1 I'm able to access, right? From where?
Yes, correct.
101.1.1. The request is coming. Okay. Correct now? Debug ICMP. Debug IP ICMP. Let me hit once again. Now the request is coming from reply is coming from where? 102 to the device, right? We are hitting to wood. We are hitting to 101.1.12. 1.1.2, right?
Yes,
Correct now? Are you able to see this? Able to see reply is coming from 101.1.1. The here what is coming? 101.1.1.1. Now let me check 101.1.1.2. What is the source? 101.1.2 which we use, right?
yes, correct.
So this is the way how you're going to configure static into out, right? Now now if you ask this device R1, okay, a ping command from 172 series, we are unable to access, right? We are unable to access the internet. Now the requirement is by using a single public IP, we can allow a 65,000 plus users, right? By using a port
Yes,
number, port address transaction. Okay, pet is another concept like okay, net pet and destination net is there. So now we're going to configure the static net. Okay, sorry, the pet we are going to configure. Okay, so for that I need to create once again the policy state pet. Okay, now the requirement is we can use a port number one. Packet will come from the port number one. Packet will go to the port number three. Source will be a IP address one by one we can use 192.168.1.0. Okay, 1.0/24. One network, entire network. Okay, another network 172.10.0.0. Okay, /16. Okay, and so this time these both will be a source. Okay, the destination will be all anywhere they can access. Okay, the services they can access all. Okay, but for that we required one public IP. Okay, so we will use a 10.1.1.3 this time. Okay, wait, 101.1.3 I'm using 1.3. Okay, invalid IP range. So Control C, and I'm using okay. This time by using this 101.1.3, all the 65 users can establish the communication at the same time. Okay, then the policy has been created. Let me check. Is it able to ping? Able to ping, right? So now static out to in and static in to out. Let me scroll up, okay, and let me try once again. All are able to access, right? Loopback 3, loopback 4, all are able to access, even though 192 or 168 will be also ping, right? So now by using a single IP address, we are able to access by using a single public IP address, multiple private users are able to access the internet. Correct?
Yes,
When
correct,
you
sir.
check into this, some port number will come here. Okay, here it will show or not. Okay, let me try once again to hit this. Okay, loop back 3, loop back 1. So this time let me check. Destination. Okay, what is the coming? Source, unreachable. Let me check. 1.1.1. Repeat count I'm using 100. What it is coming now in R3? Destination is a 101.1.3, right? Source is this one. When you capture the packet, you'll get to know all these things, the what is the source and the what is the port number they're using. Okay, clear?
But here only source and destination IPs only there, but there.
For that
Like,
you need to use a wireshark. Okay, so by using a wireshark you can capture all this, you know, picture network node. Let me try if I don't know whether it is installed or not into my machine. It is showing like delete. Send save edit duplicate send to front. Capture option will must become there. Okay, which is not coming means it is not installed into my PC. Okay, let me wireshark. It is installed. It should be okay. But in real time you can capture. Okay, na? I'll show you in CCNA video.
okay, sir.
Okay, so these are the things how you're going to configure. Now we wanted to configure this part is done. Okay, inside to outside, outside to inside, and the multiple users are able to access by using a single public network. Okay, now we want the outside users. Okay, the outside networks. Okay, can access our telnet and HTTP. Okay, for that I need to enable the telnet services into this PC. Okay, na? So the telnet configuration is, let me do the SSH or line VTY is fine. Line VTY we can do. Okay, login local. So in R2 we can configure a telnet service we can enable. By default it is not enabled. Okay, so in R2 we need to configure this. Debug, enable configuration terminal. So line VTY 0 to 4. Okay, and then you can use just leave it. Transport input SSH telnet, login local, user ID, user is other, password is a 123, password
Correct.
123. Okay, then now let me try to hit from this side outside. Okay, R3 telnet 10. Okay, I have not configured the policy, right? So I need to create a policy. So policy will be whenever someone is hitting, whenever someone is hitting my, uh, destination net, whenever anyone using 101.1.1.1, dot 1. This is our interface, right? 100. So we can use a 100 whenever anyone is hitting 100. So the request should be direct to 192.168.10.100. 100 means our telnet. This is the IP of this device. Okay. By using a port number 23. The port number 23 is a for telnet. Okay. Then policy is done. And that means virtual IP have we have created. Now we need to create a policy. The destination net. Incoming packet will be port number 3. Outgoing will be a port number 1. Not port number 1. That is a port number 2. Okay. So the source will be a source we cannot define. So we source with the all destination we can define destination. Destination net. Always services is a all. Okay. Except and the netting is not required during the out to in. Okay. So let me hit, not let me do the telnet from here. 101.1.100.100. Okay, so this is not configured properly. The telnet must be configured. Here it should be available. The configuration was. If it is not, then we can configure once again to the R3. Okay. Here already opened right in the last session. Yeah, here we can do configuration terminal line VDY.
This is
Zero
the
to
R3,
four.
sir.
Hmm?
We should configure the R2, right?
No. Okay, okay, sorry. Configuration terminal line VDY 0 to 4, and the password I'm using 123. Instead of password we can use username. Yet not, we can use later. Username Ajay, password is a 123, and login. Okay, login local, login delay future quick on success, login local. That's not it. Yeah, I'm using all this thing. Okay. Instead of IP domain name, I'm using this as a firewallcafe.com. Okay, and the server for hostname I'm using as a telnet server. Okay, and I will use a password as a 123, and name will be Mahesh, or I'm just using my name only, Mahesh 123. Here also I'm using a secret. The password will be a 123, and ID will be
What
a
is the meaning of the privilege, sir? I mean,
privilege.
sharing.
Privilege is a there should be a level of access. Edit only you can access. Well, let's suppose you have a multiple
User mode,
users.
privilege mode,
No, no,
like
no,
that.
no, 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 not that. You will get the rights. You can modify or you can just read write access.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
so done. Let me do from here. Okay, telnet 101.101.
R4, sir, not R3.
No, R3 only. R3 is our internet, right? We will try from here. We will access this, okay, by hitting 101.100. 101.1.1.100. Okay. So it is trying to open. Why it is not? It should be in so IP so running configuration. Let me open. So here firewall preferred domain name SSH has been configured as a line VTY. Okay. Okay. So telnet and SSH must be a different. Sometimes I need to forget that. So we can use this one. Okay. So configuration terminal using username admin. Okay, and the password I'm using 123. Okay, and line VTY 024, login login local, and exit, and enable secret 123 service password encryption. If you want, this is not important. Okay, so now done. Now if you hit, okay, now if you hit from here, 3R3, then by hitting another, earlier it was not open, right? It will access now 101.1.100, right? So let me quickly check that whether this reachability is there or not from R3. The policy is, where is the policy? Okay, wait, it is in top. Destination net we required, right? Destination net. Let me bring it up, refresh it. Okay, by sequence we can go and we can bring it up. Okay, destination net. Netting is disabled. All is fine. Destination net. When you're hitting 101.1.100, it will redirect to. Okay, what is the IP? Which IP we are using? And which IP we are using here? 10. And
Yeah.
we here we are using a 1, right? Here,
Yes.
destination net. Destination net, okay. So here the IP which we given, that is wrong. Here it should be a 192.168.10.100, right? So now it will work. Now it is asking, right, Mahesh, 123 telnet. We received this R1. What is the name of host name of this device? So telnet
Yes.
is a host name, right?
Device
So
name.
now
Yeah.
we are
Okay.
able to access, correct,
Yes.
from
Correct.
outside. Okay, na? In
Yeah,
the
okay,
same
sir.
way, this is our HTTP server. Okay, consider this is our HTTP server. The same time, someone is hitting. Okay, again we need to create a virtual IP destination net, clone it, and someone is hitting this. This should be with the port number 80, which is known as the port forwarding also. Okay, 80. So it should be a. Let me take a clone for this. Whenever someone is hitting to our device, our IP, that is 192. Sorry, 101.1.1.100 with the port number 80. It will redirect to our 20 dot our HTTP server. Okay, so we can create one more policy. uh, Destination HTTP. Okay, HTTP incoming is a port number 3, outgoing is a port number 4, and the source is a all. Destination we can define. So what we created, destination net outgoing. Okay, 192, not this, destination net 101.1.10.100 and 20.100 we required. We need to create here. Okay, address, not this, virtual IP we need to create. From here also we can create. Here also we can create. Okay, virtual IP server. So both are the same way. HTTP DST HTTP. Okay, one G one what is that IP? 101.
101.
101.1.1.100. Okay, the same we can use, right? That is already a port number. Just a minute. Just now I created one virtual IP, right? This is what's it with the IP? So this time we need to change the IP 20. Okay, so this time destination HTTP destination I'm making. Okay, HTTP DST. So this time we can use create new because 20.100 is the IP of this, right? And we chosen there ST HTTP. I'm creating one policy name port number 3. It will go to the port number 4 and source will be all and destination will be all schedule always services all. Okay, so destination we can define as a instead of http we can do. Okay, http destination name. Okay, and then so now by using this PC, this desktop, let me check whether my reachability is there or not. Okay, Hmm. 102.1.1.1 I'm able to reach my gateway. Then 101.1.1.100 am I able to reach there? Okay, I'm able to reach there. Okay, na? So now I'm just trying to access it because this is an HTTP. I can't do in the CLI, right? I need to open any browser.
Yes.
Yeah, any question?
No, sir, it's fine.
Lakshmi, you're silent. Lakshmi. Okay, so yeah. So now what we are trying to access, we will hit 190. No,
Sorry, sir, I was on mute.
no problem, no problem. 1.100 in a web browser. Okay, now hit enter with the HTTP. Okay, so it will directly redirect to us. So HTTP service has been configured or not into the device. This R4. Let me check enable. So IP route or so running configuration. Here HTTP must be enabled, right? HTTP service. So there is no HTTP service has been configured. So let me configure the HTTP service quickly. Configuration terminal. So for the HTTP, we can do HTTP from here as well. Okay, R3 and R4. I have already configuration. IP HTTP server we can do. Secret I'm using as a 123. Instead of firewall cafe, I'm using my name Mahesh. Okay, so IP HTTP server with the I'm just configured this. IP HTTP server has been done. Okay, so HTTP service is enabled now into this device R4. Now if you hit from your PC, okay, this time it will be accessible. Let me check the IP of this device. details. So 101.1.1. Okay, this is fine. Okay, now let me check the firewall. Firewall is also off. So now 101.1.100. Okay, HTTP colon double slash. Let me see the policy once. Let me bring it in the top. What is the IP address? Whenever anyone is hitting 101.1.1.100, it should redirect the request 192.168.20.100, right? So this is fine. Any history issue?
So once you check if the browser is working or not, so you can access any other.
Which browser?
I mean, Firefox in.
No, Firefox is working.
I mean, you can log in. You can access it through our.
Device we
Uh,
cannot do. This is a virtual environment, and our device is
okay.
in physical, right?
Yes. Okay. So
101.1.1.100 HTTP colon double slash. HTTP service we are already enabled, right? Something is wrong here in the configuration.
sir, here nothing enabled as a HTTP server.
Hmm?
Not enabled the HTTP server.
That is the reason. Username I'm putting as secret I'm giving 123. Welcome. Local. Terminal local. Enable service. Enable password. Encryption is there, no? Hmm. Enable secret password is there. 3. Configuration terminal, and here we can go. And now wait a minute. It seems like HTTP is fine. The HTTP service is already configured into this, right? In so running configuration. So I'll show you. Username created. Okay. HTTP server, HTTP secure, all is configured, right? Why it is not working then? Wait a
Try
minute.
to access any other.
Just a minute, huh? Here, ID and password is changed into this configuration. Let me reconfigure this configuration terminal. Paste it here. Host name, HTTP server. Okay. First name, HTTP server. Just a minute. We are almost done, right? So here, now this is the configuration is done. Now, just a minute, guys. Huh? The charger.
Okay.
I changed my place. Now, if you hit, uh, we are able to access this, right? Reachability is there. Our PC is able to access the 101.1.100. Then it should be. Let me verify that quickly the policy once again. virtual IP. What is the meaning of this 101.1.100? And it's a 192.168.20.100 with the port number 80. Okay, this is done. HTTP destination net. Fine. Go to the policy destination net. Packet will come to the port number 3. It will go to the port number 4. Source can be anything. It will read. It will come 10 by hitting the 101.100. It will go to the 200. Okay, always. Except netting is not required. No problem. Okay, but let me check that the IP is properly configured or not into the R4. To show IP interface brief. What is the IP here? 192.168.4.1, right? Then how it will become? Then we need to change the IP, right? Here, what we are
Yes,
thinking, it is a 20.100, correct?
yes, 20.100.
And the
That
IP has
for
been assigned to 4.1.
yes,
Sorry, guys. Interface fastest net 0 by 0. No IP address 192.168.4.1. So problem must become, then only we can get to know what is the solution, right?
correct.
Interface fastnet 0 by 0 192.168 dot 10.100
No, sir, 20.100.
again I'm doing the mistake, right? The 20.100 IP address 20.100 and int so IP interface break 20.100, right? And our policy is telling it should go to 20.100, right? Now it will work. Okay, default route is there. So IP route default route is not configured, right? Configure here. Default route must be there towards 20.1. Request is coming, but reply is not coming, right? Reply is not going because there is no default routing, right? IP route
Yes,
0.0.0.0 and 0.0.0.0 192.168.20.1,
100.
correct?
Yes,
20.1.
yes,
And let me check the firewall also. It's because I might configure another IP here. So system interface question mark. So what is the port number for 192.168.20.1, right? Okay, fine
yes.
then. Now we can hit. Mhm. Let me check the reachability from here. Enable. Ping 192.168 dot because public network cannot ping. Ping 101.1.100 and 10.20.20.100. This is not able to reach, right. Just one case. Let me verify the issue, okay? HTTP destination port number. Heat is coming. Heat count is 10, right? 10 times we retried. The request is coming, but it is not, loading into this that device. Firewall policy, everything is done properly. Then what is the issue now? Now it is working. Okay, that was a browser issue.
Um,
So what was the our what was the user?
Mahesh,
Firewall cafe, I think. Let me try this firewall cafe. Last time we configured this one. Firewall cafe and password is a 123. Okay, password is a
okay,
123. So we are able to access the server, right? HTTP server, Cisco system. Okay, this is it will not show like a google.com or facebook.com. What is the host name of the device? HTTP server only, right? What is the model of that device? 3725. Okay, this is Cisco, right? This is a Cisco device, correct? And what is the
yes.
host name? Let me change the
First,
host name. Configuration terminal host name of firewall cafe. Okay. In. So now again, if you hit from here inside, now this time if you hit, what is showing now? Firewall cafe, right? Because name is changed.
yes,
But my requirement is whenever the anyone is coming, it should come. I don't want to give access to all public users. I wanted to allow a particular users which can access by using their credential. For that, I need to create some users into the device. Okay, here user and authentication, user group or user definition. We can create a new one user here. Okay, local user. Okay, I given the user that is a test. Okay, test. The password is a 123. Okay, next. Don't save. This is a unnecessary things. Okay, test is coming. Firewall policy, go to the firewall policy. Here in the source we can define the user also. Okay, here I can define as a source. I can call to the user also. I cannot get into the address. I can get into the user column. Okay, so the test is our user, so the test only can access this inside. Okay, so let me go once again hit. It is asking the password, right? Password asking. This is the Fortigate symbol. So the test and 123. Okay, now accessible, correct?
yes,
We can create a multiple group, and we can create a users of group, and that if there is more than thousands users, then we can also create 1,000 users, and we can allow them. Okay, here I can create a group. I can you know http user. Okay, the member is the test I created. If you wanted to create one more, you can create a user again here from here itself. Next, test 2. Okay, 123. Next, don't save. Next, submit. Okay, so the test and test 2 both will become a part of http users. Okay, close. Let me bring S test 2 and close and okay. And here firewall policy, go to the policy. Instead of calling a single user, I can call entire group of users. Okay, go to the users. What is the group of users? HTTP users.
yeah,
How many users are there? Test and test 2, right?
true. Yeah,
I can allow them. So this time, hit once again. HTTP colon 101.1.1.100. It is performing a little bit slow.
yeah, yeah, yes, I can. We can understand. We can.
HTTP
That
colon.
can help.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, something issue now. 101.1.100. Okay. So this is the browser now, virtual browser. So we cannot,
Yeah.
again we need to go and delete the browsing history. Then it will perform. So I believe you guys are understanding the value of the netting. Okay, netting is a very
Yes.
important concept for your,
Correct.
to day to day life, and how we are allowing our inside user. Let's suppose I allowed these users, right, to access this, but the user cannot hit. Okay, the user cannot take entry in our local area network. Okay, so that is a call. This is a demilitarized zone, we can say. Okay. Anyway, so today we completed our what netting has been done. Okay, user authentication is also done. We created a user, right? Tomorrow we will discuss about the VPN. Okay, then day after tomorrow we can configure the VPN. So it will take maximum more than 1 week only. It will take. Okay, so within a week
Okay.
we can close this. Okay, so see you guys.
Okay,
The
sir.
video I'll upload
Yeah.
there.
Yes.
If any question, you can ask me.